Been a first-class experience from top to bottom for everybody involved. From the moment we arrived, the way that we have been welcomed, the events planned for our players and the families of our coaches have been extremely entertaining, a lot of fun, a lot of energy. They have felt a lot of guys never been to New York City before, so the energy of the city has certainly caught them by surprise. And sure, they're really excited to play the football game, but spending the last 4 or 5 days up here has been just a very different and an experience they'll remember the rest of their lives, and certainly a very appreciative of everyone's efforts for making our stay such a great one.
Hey, how you guys doing? This question's for Mario. So Mario, can you talk about, you mentioned it before, how important it is to finish this season off the right way for this team. Can you weigh in a little bit more on that? What makes it so important? Because, this program struggled in the last 11 bowl games. And then also, if you can talk about how these bowl practices have been especially helpful for your younger players, for the younger players on the team. Thanks.
Well, anybody that's playing in the postseason has earned the opportunity to play in the postseason. And that's something that our team really takes to heart, right? Hard work pays off, and this team has certainly done a really good job of fighting through adversity and earning themselves an opportunity against a great Rutgers football team. So for us, that's what it's all about. Anytime we have a chance to play football, it doesn't matter where and when it is, our guys love to play football, and we're recruiting and developing more and more guys that love the game, that want to play the game. And to have this venue and this type of environment and atmosphere is certainly a tremendous boon and a bonus for everybody. And when you have these practices, it's not only that you have practice during the time of year where school's already out, right? Final exams are done. So you have their full attention. You could really focus on developing technique and fundamentals, football IQ, spending time with your players, which it's a rare time, right? During the year, people don't realize this. When it becomes a dead period, you actually have time to be around your players. So for the coaching staff, for the team itself, for the development of this current team and the future itself, it's again, it's extremely it's invaluable. It's the best way to put it.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's having good holidays. My question is for Mario. Just are there any guys who missed extended time during the season? Akeem Mesidor, Nigel Kelly, Trevante Citizen, guys who will be able to play in the bowl game tomorrow. And then also, just what have you seen from Matthew McCoy, Logan Sungapolu, Ryan Rodriguez, the guys who are going to fill in for Javion and Matt on the offensive line tomorrow?
Yeah, well, Akeem and Nigel, they've been out for almost the entire season. They will not play in the game. Trevante Citizen is available. Up front, I think all those guys have done a good job all week long. Ryan has certainly put in and invested a bunch of time, and his development has been incredible, especially over the last couple of weeks when you start taking all those reps, like Coach Shiano had mentioned earlier. But him, Logan, Mario Cristobal, all these guys are mixing and matching. They're getting a bunch of reps, and they've done a really good job. We're excited to watch these guys play. They work well together. I think the pride that's instilled by Inez Cooper, by Francis, by Jalen Rivers, those guys they drive that offensive line, and they hold those guys accountable from the first line all the way back to the end. So we expect those guys to really put together a really strong couple of practices of walkthroughs that we have left, and put on a really good performance.
Yes, this is Madi Dembele from WFUV Sports. To both coaches, thank you so much for allowing me to be in this press conference. For Coach Cristobal, I want to run a spotlight on Jacurri Brown. You've had a lot of rotations at quarterback, right? Tyler Van Dyke is no longer with the program. Emory Williams, may he have a speedy recovery with the arm injury, but Jacurri Brown is the only scholarship quarterback that you have left on the roster. Just speak to his what he's been showing at practice, and how excited are you for him to have his first game really all season, and what do you expect from him?
Well, the whole team's excited for him. He's a tremendous competitor. And he has shown when he's gotten in games before that he's extremely productive and can really make explosive plays. And so when a guy like that gets the opportunity to have not only the spotlight on him, as you mentioned, but to have all the reps that he's had throughout the course of the last 4 weeks, it builds a lot of confidence. And the confidence that he has in himself is reflected in his teammates and their approach to practice and their energy and their enthusiasm that surrounds him when he makes plays in practice. So and he's got everybody excited, and he has everybody's confidence, most importantly. So we're looking forward to him playing tomorrow.
Hey, Mario. Um, how many days practice did you guys actually have to prepare? And how difficult is it when you're missing a lot of guys? How does it change the whole thing?
Well, I believe we used 11, 12 of the days. Not all of them were in pads. Some of them were similar to what player-led practices would look like, as well as skill instruction, some of the stuff you do during the off season. But, the way that we practice, I mean, heck, during fall camp, we two-spot just about everything. So everybody's getting the same amount of reps. So when these guys were called upon to step up and play, they've done a really good job, and they've earned the confidence again of their teammates and the coaches. So it's been fun. Coach Shiano mentioned earlier, um, you can't underestimate how powerful and how impactful repetitions are, right? The more reps guys get, the more comfortable they feel, and all of a sudden they start playing faster, they start playing better. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been very it's gotten us really enthused watching some of these younger guys play, because that's a really talented freshman class. And a lot of those guys are going to have an opportunity both on offense, defense, and on special teams to show that on tomorrow. So it's been really good.
Also, you touched on this a little, and Coach Shiano did. Some of the stuff you did was really cool this week. The 9/11. I know you went to Radio City, ringing the bell this morning. What do you think affected your players the most, and why? What the feedback you got, and you also.
Oh, 9/11. I mean, I came here in the summertime. We spent almost the entire day there. I mean, so we have the windows. They provide a great window for us to get through there. But I can tell you, families and players are going to come back to it to do it again, and come back to New York, and just in general to come back and do a lot of the things again. The events have been off the charts. Everything just first class. Everything. It feels. It just feels big. It feels New Yorkish, and our guys have really enjoyed it. And at some of them, the simplicity of Ray's Pizza right down the street. I mean, they've been killing that. So, but overall, just and not only that, they provided the ability to our meeting rooms, our practice facilities. Columbia has been super gracious. The New York Giants in their facility has been, got a chance to catch up with some former players and former teammates there as well yesterday. So all in all, you couldn't ask for a better balance of both enjoying an earned bowl opportunity and also preparing at a high level.
And the last thing is, I'm not sure if Adam asked you this specifically. Is Branson Dean playing in this game?
Yes, he is.
Great. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, Coach. Coach Cristobal, what feedback have you seen from the fans here in New York? I know you've seen some guys at the hotels taking pictures and all that. And what are you expecting to see at Yankee Stadium tomorrow?
I expect our people to show up strong. Our alumni base here is large, and certainly they are very enthusiastic. And every year we have multiple events up here for our alumni. And so to have the opportunity to play up here and at Yankee Stadium, we expect to have a strong showing tomorrow.
Hi again. So Mario, you kind of mentioned the freshman class, their talent level and everything. And I can't remember who I was talking to earlier during the season, but they basically said, I think about Francis Mauigoa, that when you play every day, your first year, by the time that you get to the end of the year, you're not really a freshman anymore. So is that how you guys kind of feel about this freshman class, especially the guys who have been playing a lot, the Mark Fletchers, Francis Mauigoa, Ruben Bain? Like, do you feel they've kind of taken a big leap during the course of the season in terms of not just like playing, ability, but also like their leadership and like the more mental and emotional aspects of playing every day?
Without a doubt, those guys made their way up to the leadership council very quickly, and they knew we were very honest with them. The biggest thing we had to address here and coming to Miami was making sure that we elevated the caliber of at all levels and the depth of the caliber of student athletes, of players that we had in the program. And when you do that, that's like that first full class. Those guys are freshmen. Sometimes you lose sight of that. And when they were brought in, they were told, well, unfortunately, you're not allowed to have a normal freshman experience. We're going to have to accelerate that. I mean, you're going to have to come this and approach this like a professional, while still having the kind of fun that you have when you're a freshman. The type of stuff and the type of experience you're supposed to have as a student athlete. So tremendous progress by them. They're relentless. Those guys are special. They really are. They're unique. They want to win. They want to push their teammates. They love being challenged. And everything for them is just football's fun for them, and it's contagious. So really, really fortunate to have guys like that on this team.
Coach Cristobal, Cam declared for the draft this week. How would you recap his career as a Hurricane, coming from Miami, staying home, and also making a big impact in his community during his time at Miami?
Yeah, a true Miami Hurricane, local guy, and his impact was just as great off the field as it was on the field. You see how engaged he is with the community now. He's always involved in something and finding ways to give back and inspire, particularly youth, right? And underprivileged youth at that. So, and then his play on the field matched that. A guy that always on game day, or I should say even on practice days, right, through the tough stuff, also was a guy that bought into everything that we brought with us when we got here a year ago. So super excited for him and his future and what it holds. His banner hangs high in the indoor, right, as an All-American, which is really, really hard to do. In fact, the first true sophomore to ever accomplish that. So hats off to Cam and the rest of those guys. Special guy.
Again, questions again from Mario. First, I appreciate the reminder to get some good pizza while I'm up here. Second, though, I know you guys are obviously looking for a portal quarterback. Just how are you feeling, you and the staff feeling about those efforts right now? Are you optimistic you're going to be able to get a guy? I know you can't mention any names, obviously, but a guy that you want.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the pizza recommendations, but Adam, you know me well enough. I never speak recruiting, and I was taught that by the guy on the screen here as well. So